Insights channel. Steve here, and tonight I'm going to talk to you about my Insights books, and in particular my two books on ENOCH Insights and The Secret of ENOCH Insights. Reason being, one of you kindly took the time to write about the books of Enoch, and they also suggested to people to get my two books of Enoch. I thought what was written by one of you, Mr. K. Francis, from a couple of days ago, it was so well written, I thought you might like to hear it. So this is what he says about the books of Enoch, of which there are 66 books of Enoch, well, at least originally. I've only read about 2 of them. So the books of Enoch, and his title is Enoch Anyone? By K. Francis. I point out, he brings some points out here that I was not aware of, even though I've studied the books of Enoch quite a bit. Interesting points. So Enoch Anyone? By K. Francis, 12/11/24. If you mention the book of Enoch, it usually evokes a multitude of varied responses. This book is found in the Ethiopian Coptic Bible, though not in the King James Bible. Hebrew and Aramaic copies of the book of Enoch were found in the collection of writings found at the caves of Qumran, the collection of which were called the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1956. Whatever your perspective is on the authenticity of these books, I believe they deserve at least some prayerful perusal. There have been many negative reactions as well as an outright dismissal of its veracity. However, a new viewpoint arose when the books of Enoch were found written in Hebrew and Aramaic in the year around about 1956. It's been said, you talk to a man's enemies to get an accurate picture of the man. Then you add that to the picture that the same man's friends give you. And the purpose of this little article is to give a few reasons why this book, or these books I should say, the books of Enoch, may have been sidelined and possibly purposely hidden from public view. That's what I've been saying all along. Here are a few things. 1. God the Creator. The Slavic book of Enoch, as in the Secrets of Enoch, and the book of Enoch, the Ethiopian book of Enoch, depict God explaining the entire creation with many details. He offers his heavenly book to Enoch to write in his own hand. As a result, Enoch supernaturally and physically writes 366 books, virtually copying from God's record. And God tells Enoch to take these books back to earth and teach his sons and his people. Enoch was a king of kings, ruling over approximately 130 other kings, teaching them the ways of the Lord. And God was sending Enoch as a personal emissary with an eyewitness account, as well as books detailing the proof that God was the one and only creator, and wanted them to honor him as such. These 366 books were left with Enoch's sons for all to teach and read. Jesus the Christ. Did you know in the book of Enoch, the first book of Enoch, Jesus is mentioned as a son of man? In the King James Bible, Daniel referred to Jesus also as a son of man. In the Gospels, Jesus refers to himself not as the Son of God, but as the Son of Man. Enoch details the specific roles that the Son of Man holds. View of the world from Enoch to the new heaven and new earth in Revelation chapters 21-22. That's the view that Enoch gives in the books of Enoch. Well, we see in the book of Daniel chapter 2, we find out it's the most concise record of history from Babylon to the kingdom of God in a millennium, and indeed unto the eternal age after the millennium. In the parable of Enoch, God gives him a view concerning Adam from the new heaven to the new earth, also when writing from the heavenly tablets, there was a record of every person born, as well as what they would do and their place after leaving this life and joining eternity. Now imagine that. I didn't know that. A record of every person born, as well as what they would do and their place after leaving this life and joining eternity. Incredible. Wow. God has his angels give Enoch some special technology, a pen and quick writing, to write those 366 books in about 30 days. That sounds incredible. The names of the leaders of the fallen angels. What's in a name? It identifies who and what you are talking to very clearly. When Jesus came across the possessed man, he asked the spirit and the man for his name. He didn't ask for the man's name, but the names of the devils that were in him. And the man said, "Our name is Legion, for we are many." It seems that Jesus used that name to cast the spirits out, the name of Legion, and uses this as a teaching tool for his children for future circumstances. Knowledge of the names of the leaders of the fallen angels can be helpful in telling them what to do and overcoming their tricks. Details are also given of their spiritual portfolio and their areas of expertise. In some cases, it's important to be specific. Foundations of cosmology. The luminaries are detailed very specifically. Well, of course, there are chapters, about 8 chapters on the luminaries in the first book of Enoch. Later chapters talking all about the planets and the stars and the moon and all these things and how they're taken care of by different angels and other creatures. So the luminaries are detailed very specifically as to their natural schedule and their other functions. I don't know how to say this in any other way. Our present cosmology has no basis in fact. In other words, modern science has got it all completely wrong. The sun, moon, and stars are lights, not heavenly spheres. See Genesis chapter 1. 24 hours a day is pictured as a group of 18. The sun and the moon travel in a circuit above the earth. That's right. Earth is the center of the universe. The sun goes around the earth, not the other way around. And you can prove it too. Unfortunately, I've also been a scientist. I've studied a lot of science at university, been to 2 universities, and I've studied a lot of physics, mathematics, all kind of things, electronics as well. All kind of things for science. But unfortunately, the more I study, the more I find out they left a lot out of the picture. It's like in science, they've given you a 2-sided picture of a 3-dimensional picture. Something like that. They've left out a lot of the facts deliberately. That's because of who runs things and who's behind things, i.e. the God of this world, Satan. Anyway, the sun and the moon travel in a circuit above the earth. The sun is powered and somehow transported by angels, not nuclear power. The earth has foundations and it's stationary. The earth is referred to as a circle of the earth. There's also the ends of the earth. How can a circle or sphere have ends? Those are just a few things. Well, that's easy to explain because we've got these so-called holes at the poles where the poles are supposed to be. It's flattened out, a bit like a donut, I suppose, flattened out at both ends, and then there's a big hole descending inside the hollow earth at both ends. That's how the earth really is, not as we're told. But you can discover those things just by a little bit of investigation. Fallen angels plus human women equal giant troubles. That's well said. The fallen angels were exiled from heaven. They rebelled against God, came down to earth in some kind of physical form, reproduced with human women. They were not spirits, as their union resulted in physical giants. And this narrative has been silenced. There is documented evidence of giants from 9 feet to as high as 35 feet. I'd say much higher than that as well. This information does not jive with or promote the theory of evolution, that we're getting bigger and stronger and smarter and better all the time. Quite the opposite is true. The giants in pre-flood times became cannibals and ate people. There were giants in the land. In the King James Version of the Bible, there were at least some 10 different groups of giants, most of whom were inhabitants of the lands that the Israelites would later drive the giants out of. Well, yeah, you have to quantify the giants, I would say here, because the giants before the flood was a different kettle of fish altogether than the giants after the flood. There were giants after the flood, but the giants before the flood were much bigger, massive, including you hear from legends, Greek legends about the Titans. Some of them were supposed to be in the hundreds of feet high. Imagine such things walking around, big enough to put their heads above the clouds. It's crazy. I'm glad I wasn't alive in pre-flood times. It sounded like a very dangerous time to be. In fact, you can find there were evidence from pre-flood times that they used to make cities below the ground because they were afraid of something. What were they hiding from? All kind of critters, I think. Well, he goes on to say that here in his article here. He said the giants became cannibals and ate people. There were giants in the land. Okay? The fallen angels somehow not only made giants, but somehow created hybrids, half animals, semi-human creatures, such as mythological creatures. Yeah, I talk about that in my books. I think the battle in the movie Prince Caspian shows something like this. You may be able to find a clip of this on YouTube. Right? Check out the combatants. This mixture of animal and human DNA resulted in God sending the Great Flood. And that's one reason God got rid of all the animals. The majority of these evils was because of the fallen angels' rebelliousness and teaching hidden knowledge, so God had to clean things up and restart with Noah and his family. The spirit world. Enoch details clearly that God is the creator, no ifs and or buts about it. He created us in his image and has granted us the power of choice. He set man on the earth to oversee and manage it and the creatures on it. In essence, he made man as gods of the earth. As our creator, he expects us to respect him and acknowledge him as such. He also desires to have a relationship with us. His physical and spiritual creation is ordered, with each angel, human, and animal creation having its specific function. Angels also have choices and are limited in their understanding. And God told Enoch that what he was telling him, that he was telling him things that even the angels didn't know. Wow. Also, the spirit world is eternal. These points, though not elaborate or very specific, highlight a few areas that may cause people to rethink things. Most of these points will radically alter some of the major modern narrative that we see, hear, and read about that affect our lives on a daily basis. Knowledge is power. The powers that be control the narrative, restrict access to anything that contradicts their narrative. Hopefully, this will encourage you to give the Book of Enoch prayerful perusal. In reading over it a few times, I found nothing in it that contradicts the Bible, found it helpful and reinforcing. If interested in learning more about this Book of Enoch, I would suggest 2 books by S.N. Strutt, that's me. Number 1, ENOCH INSIGHTS, and 2, The Secrets of ENOCH INSIGHTS. And here's something I also did not know. Finally, there is a quote inside the Book of Enoch that said that just before Jesus' return, the Book of Enoch will be circulated around the world, or something to that effect. In the past few years, this has come to pass, so at least one thing is true. Read it for yourself and see if the rest is or not. Now, from me, the author. For the Christmas season, you can order these books from me. That's ENOCH INSIGHTS, Secrets of ENOCH INSIGHTS, and right now, you buy 2 books, you get a 3rd book for free. Right? I have a total of 11 different books. I have 2 on the paranormal, supernatural, about all the shenanigans of governments working behind the scenes and what they do in their militaries, and etc. One called Out the Bottomless Pit, and Out the Bottomless Pit 2, and then 9 insights books based on the Apocryphal books and ancient Hebrew books, starting with ENOCH INSIGHTS, Esdras INSIGHTS with a Z, Josh INSIGHTS Book 1, Josh Insights Book 2, Jubilee's Insights, Eden Insights, which is based on the Lost Books Adam and Eve, 12 Patriarchs Insights, Esdras Insights with an S, a much bigger book than the first one, and then the last one, Secrets of Enoch Insights. So like, if you want to have both of the books of Enoch, well, right now you could order both the books of Enoch directly from me, and then I'll give you one of these other books for free, any one you choose to have. So anyway, you can feel free to contact me at activatedscotland@gmail.com. That's Steve, activatedscotland@gmail.com. And you can also see all the books shown there on my new website, which is www.insightspublication.com. That's www.insightspublication.com. And you can find a lot of information about the books there, of each one of them, if you go to my new website. Okay, so you can either buy the books from me and get them cheaper, a special deal at Christmas, or you can get them directly at Amazon. Right. Okay, well, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy those new points that one of you sent in, and I do thank you so much. A big thank you there to Kay Francis for sending in that very interesting article that you wrote about the books, and also encouraging people to get my 2 books of Enoch, Enoch Insights and the Secrets of Enoch Insights. I would like to encourage you to, please do get my books, and do tell others about the importance of the books of Enoch. Thanks so much. Bye for now.